Traditionally, the Japanese emperors have traced their ancestry to the sun goddess Amaterasu. Unlike many cultures who believe in a male sun god, Shinto's Amaterasu is female. Every day, she is tasked with the important role of bringing light to both the heavenly world and the earth. For centuries, the Japanese emperors have also claimed that their divinity and god status is proven by three sacred objects, or the imperial regalia. These objects are the Asakani Magatama, a mirror, and the legendary Kusanagi sword. But how did these three mystical objects become bestowed upon the emperors? The story begins in the divine realm, where Amaterasu gives birth to a son named Mimi. As he grows and matures, Amaterasu would task Mimi to rule over all of Japan. But as he walks on the bridge that separates the heavens from the mortal Japan, he gazes upon a world in discord. Wars on Japan are rampant, as leaders and deities fight amongst each other. The weak Mimi panics and tells his mother that he cannot ever hope to control this madness.
Oh, Mother, I cannot do this. I'm simply powerless compared to those on Earth. I'm sorry. Mother, I must refuse.
Refusal shakes the cores of Amaterasu and all the other gods, or kami. A mighty council is soon formed, and a plan is in the making. Musubi, a god of creation, is the first to come up with a potential way to quell the violence.
I announce that we send Amiwaka Hiko with the holy bow to first investigate the earth, and upon his return, we will come up with a solution.
Amiwaki Hiko becomes distracted, though, and marries Shitateru Hime, the daughter of King Utsushi Kune Dama. This news would soon reach the kami.
Is Earth so dangerous that not even we can subdue it?
Years without any report. Really makes me think. I say we send Nai Nakimi to investigate. With his speed and perception, he will surely tell us where they are.
Na Nakime was a holy pheasant, and he would find Amiwaki Hiko in a field. Not knowing it was the pheasant that watched him, Amiwaki Hiko launched one of his arrows into the poor pheasant. It went through the bird and headed straight towards the heavens. The holy arrow, its tip now soaked with the pheasant's blood, landed at the feet of Musubi.
So I see that Amiwaki Hiko has wished to betray us in favor of the mortal world. He even goes so far to murder our own. He must pay for his insolence with his life.
He then took up the arrow and launched it back to Earth. It soared through the air until it impaled Amiwaki Hiko. 11 years had passed, and still, the conflict was unresolved.
This conflict has gone on long enough. I say we end it.
The kami agreed, and they sent Take Mikazuchi and Futsunushi to negotiate with Oho Kuninushi, the ruler of Earth at the time. Take Mikazuchi and Futsunushi were kami of thunder and fire respectively, and they were very formidable fighters. They would quickly meet with the leader of Earth.
We demand that you turn over your holding of Earth as its one and only rightful leader.
You come to my realm and order me to give it up just because your petty leader is greedy? I refuse outright.
The king would talk with his two sons, Koto Shiranushi and Take Minakata, in order to get their thoughts on the matter. Koro instructed his father to submit to Amaterasu, while Take Minakata wanted to lead a rebellion.
We cannot give in to the demands of a false leader. We have worked hard for this land, and we will not relinquish it to any foe. I will show you we can win, father. I will fight Take Izuchi, and bring you his head.
Take Mikazuchi heard of this, and demanded combat.
You dare to fight a kami of the heavenly realm? Prepare to be destroyed.
Lightning strikes Take Minakata, and the fight was soon over. submit. I've seen the power of the subjects of Amaterasu, and I know that I cannot possibly compare. Tell her that the land of the Central Reed Plains is hers. I will instead rule the underworld.
Successful conquest reached the rest of the kami, and Amaterasu would ask her son Mimi if he would now rule the earth. However, he still refused to do so, but in his place, he recommended Mikoto, his own son, for the job. Amaterasu was quick to agree. Then on, Ninigi no Mikoto was the new ruler of Earth. To aid him, Amaterasu would provide him with 3 objects. Yasakani Magatama, special pearls made by legendary craftsmen, a mirror from when Amaterasu was in self-exile, and Kusanagi, a sword from a monster. These would serve as the proof of divinity for Nigi no Mikoto. In 6060, the first emperor of Japan was crowned. His name was Jimmu, and he would claim that he was a descendant of Ninigi no Mikoto, and that the kami allowed him to triumph over his foes. The spirits of our imperial ancestors, reflecting their radiance down from heaven, illuminate and assist us. All our enemies have been subdued, and there is peace within the seas. We ought to take advantage of this and perform sacrifice to the heavenly deities. For hundreds of years, the Japanese emperors would use Jimmu's declaration as further proof of their divinity. This practice would reach its apex during the Meiji Restoration. During this time, the newly formed Japanese imperial government attempted to make Shinto the state religion. In 1869, the Meiji government would form a propaganda syndicate to convince people that state Shintoism was a natural way to take the country. And in 1871, the government declared that Shinto shrines were national institutions and banned priesthood based on heredity. On every rifle that the Japanese soldiers carried into World War II rested the crest of the emperor, a chrysanthemum. It was a symbol of his authority and an indicator of state Shintoism's hold. After the war was over, the Allied occupation would break the country religiously, and the belief that the emperor was divine was destroyed. The Japanese received a major blow in terms of identity. But despite this, there are many shrines that still exist today, including the Ise Shrine, which is dedicated to Amaterasu. It was constructed in the 3rd century, and as its name states, it was built in Ise, in Miken Prefecture. It was reconstructed in 2013, and the reconstruction ceremony was attended by thousands of people. Even though the religion and this story were denounced as false, many still continue to tell it and practice it.